Since 1978, the Michigan Citizen has been reaching audiences all across Detroit, keeping them informed of both national and local events. Hello and thanks for joining us. I'm Laurel Hess and this is Comcast Newsmakers. Joining me now is Catherine Kelly, the publisher of the Michigan Citizen. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
And for folks who have not had the privilege to read this paper or perhaps don't know a whole lot about it, how is the Michigan Citizen different than perhaps, some of the larger mainstream papers?
The Michigan Citizen is a traditional black newspaper. We have an African-American focus in how we tell stories. We look to highlight black business in the city, black community efforts, and the black press comes out of the tradition, the desire and the need to tell our own story. That's the mantra behind the black press.
And it's a weekly paper, correct? A Sunday paper that folks can get both in a traditional on your breakfast table paper way and also obviously available online as well. Is there a subscription or is that accessible for anyone who would like to check it out?
Sure, you can. There's the hard copy of the Michigan Citizen, which, as you say, could be delivered to your home. It's available at the stores. But my parents started the paper, and the newspaper industry has changed and evolved since the time my parents started it. So we're also digital. We're online. We have an email version of the paper. There's so many different ways to get the news, and it's news from a different perspective than you're going to find anywhere else. News about what's going on in Detroit, and as we both know, there's so much change in the city right now.
Well, what is I don't want to pick a particular topic, but certainly we have all kinds of fabulous news being reported about what's happening with downtown and midtown, and we have a new mayor, and goodness, lots of things sort of flourishing out of that. But what is the Michigan Citizen's perspective right now on what's happening in Detroit?
Absolutely. Well, we're focused primarily on the bankruptcy and the state of emergency management that's also going on in the city. So in some ways, it's the best of times and the worst of times in the city of Detroit. There is a lot of development, there is a lot of opportunity, there is a lot of change in the city, but it's mostly focused on downtown and midtown. We still have some very real problems in the neighborhoods. How do you develop business in the neighborhoods? How do you create economically whole and families in the neighborhoods? So that's a little bit more of our focus in terms of how we tell the stories of the day.
And you don't just tell stories and write about it, but you also hold all types of events, monthly events, to try to empower people politically, economically in those neighborhoods.
Absolutely. We started a new series of events. They're monthly events, and again, if you want to know about them, you can go to our website. But we had a recent event, State of Black Detroit, and it was kind of sandwiched after the State of the City, the first mayoral address from Mayor Mike Duggan. But the point of the State of Black Detroit was to have a conversation on what are the focuses for 2014? What are the news stories? What are the political opportunities? We have a governor's race coming up. There's so much coming up in 2014. So what should be the focus for Black Detroit, people in the neighborhoods, everyday people in the city?
Very quickly, what did you come up with?
Well, the concentration on the races, but there's also a real need to focus on economic development in the neighborhood. So there was a lot of interest and a lot of passion in terms of how do you get businesses going along these arteries in the city.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
For more information on today's topic, you can visit michigancitizen.com. Today's Comcast Newsmaker was Catherine Kelly, the publisher of the Michigan Citizen.